New York's classic rock, Q1043.
And Elisabeth Rohm is with us
Yay!
now. She's a television and movie star. She's very, very successful. Among the people who worked on the original mothership, Law and Order, and obviously, as all of my friends know, I'm like a Law and Order fan.
Junkie?
Why is someone calling me on my cell
It's
at this
probably
hour of the
Jill
morning?
Hennessy saying you're cheating on me, Jim Kerr.
I
I thought I was your
I was the
Law and
only
Order.
one.
Right, I
don't
was your
know.
one
Let's
and only
see.
Law and Order woman.
Oh,
Loudest ringtone ever.
yes,
Oh
it's
my
very
God.
weird.
Is it Jill Hennessy?
No, it's not.
Is
Thank
it
goodness.
Sam Waterston?
No, it's not. It's not.
That would have been
It's
awesome.
not.
Although,
Is it Jerry
please-
Orbach from the grave?
Oh,
Please
Jerry
invite
Orbach!
Sam
What
on.
a wonderful to be
Talk
able.
about the Friars Club.
But
what
to
we
be
were
but
talking
to be
about.
able to when you were on that show, to be able to work with all those wonderful people. I mean, I know you didn't work with Jill. You succeeded the
Well,
successor
but I know,
to the
but
successor.
I know Jill. Hi, Jill, if you're
Yes.
listening to us on this snowy morning.
And you had one of the most memorable exit lines in the history of network television.
It's true.
What was
You
it?
know,
Is this because I'm a lesbian?
Right.
Yes. Another Fred Thompson gone, and so many legends.
Yes,
anyway.
Senator Thompson.
Yep.
He was playing the DA at that time. Your character, Serena, was being fired, and that was the question that you asked.
Right, it's true, and I had one of the juiciest re-entrances because I got to direct Law and Order not too long ago. A couple of months ago, I was back in New York City, able to direct the new season 22 and sort of surround Cameron Manheim and Odelia with a lot of Law and Order love from the past.
Oh, and
That was really
Cameron
fun.
is wonderful.
She's great.
She is absolutely
She's great.
amazing.
Yeah.
And so are you, because you are taking your talent and your skill and you're doing something very, very important with it on behalf of Special Olympics.
Yes, I am. I'm really excited. We're going to be in Germany, in Berlin in June to launch the World Games. It's going to be 7,000 athletes pulling together from 190 countries and just spreading that message of inclusion and trying to break those boundaries and cross those boundaries and expand this beautiful sort of movement around inclusion. We call it the Inclusion Revolution, and that's what we're going to be doing in Germany in June.
Yeah, that'll be June 17th through the 24th in Berlin. And of course, most of us won't have an opportunity to be there in person, but that's why we have television.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty extraordinary, and volunteers from all over the world. So not only athletes from 190 countries, but also volunteers. So I'll be there to kick off the World Games with other celebrities and athletes. And really, for me, I got involved a couple of years ago because I just had this strong pull to bring Special Olympics into my life and learn from them and learn indeed. That's really what it's been the last 2 years, not only learning about how to create an inclusive world. We've done a lot of work around inclusive work environments. We just did a Respect Talk. It's a company that I founded, a conversation platform, and we did it with some of the partners that Special Olympics has, like Bank of America and Coca-Cola, Microsoft, ESPN, talking about breaking those boundaries, creating a more inclusive world. What does that look like? Well, how about just starting with cracking the door open for people with ID to have actual jobs in corporate America and making it a world where we create ease for them to enter into that corporate structure.
Okay, now for our friends, I mean,
Yeah.
you just referred to ID.
Intellectual disabilities.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there are employers who not only have been very open to providing opportunities to people with intellectual or other developmental disabilities, but have found those people to be extraordinarily good employees.
Well, so let's start with words like teamwork, leadership, enthusiasm, community, striving, excellence, resilience. Those are all qualities in leadership and business that would help all of us succeed, right? We were talking about our careers and knowing each other for decades now as artists, and the same thing applies to any human being. The resilience that it takes to just succeed a year, year after year or decade after decade. And when people with intellectual disabilities bring that spirit into the work environment, everybody succeeds. So that's, I think, what a lot of corporate leaders are learning, is that bringing people with intellectual disabilities into the workspace actually strengthens everybody.
It's Elisabeth Rohm who's with us here at Q104.3. So obviously, I mean, it's very clear to all of us in the room and to our friends who are listening to Q104.3 right now that you are not just a celebrity.
I'm not just an ADA.
No, you're not. You're not just a celebrity making an appearance on behalf of Special Olympics.
No.
You are a person who is very, very deeply involved.
Well, I might not be athletic, but I have to say I've definitely been moved and changed and opened up by, like I love this saying, like, broken open. The athletes of Special Olympics have just broken my heart open and changed my perspective. And again, inclusion is not just about having a conversation about it, but it's about beating the drum until changes happen and all of us get broken open and the door gets open. Because for people with ID, it's sometimes as simple as, a company just making it easy for them to apply for a job, to sustain within that job. And then what we discover is that we're all changed by actually being inclusive. But that takes all of us continuing to have the conversation. So I'm excited to just be here to chat about it.
It's really interesting. I spoke recently with an athlete who was part of Special Olympics, and she said it absolutely changed her life because before that she was bullied in school, and it just raised her self-worth to the point that now she goes around promoting Special Olympics. And this is someone who thought she could never do public speaking.
Oh my God.
And her mom said to her, well, try. If you don't like it, then you won't do it again.
Well, that's what we're going to do in June. We're going to celebrate progress. And I've had the privilege through Special Olympics to get to know an athlete named Chris Nikic, who's breaking boundaries, surprising himself, surprising the world, just because his father created a method to just be 1% better every day. And as an athlete, that's what Chris has done. And he's broken boundaries. He was the first ever Ironman in Florida, then Hawaii. He just ran the Boston Marathon. I mean, he's just changing the narrative for people with intellectual disabilities.
Now, there is a program as part of Special Olympics called Unified Sports. Mm-hmm. And what is that exactly?
Well, Unified Sports just brings together people throughout different communities to support people with intellectual disabilities and their families.
So you have people with and without intellectual disabilities on the same team.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There's a lot to learn.
Yes,
because they wanted your visit to be a surprise to me today because I'm
good.
such
Did
a
I
big
surprise
fan.
you?
Yes, because I've been a fan of yours for so long. And so
Me too, you
as
guys.
you
Thank
were coming in, they told me what was going on and gave me the information here about Special Olympics. And of course, all of us have kind of an understanding of Special Olympics and what it is, but there's so much more to it than what on the surface we all believe we know and understand.
I always look at things like just to take away something that each of us can do that's different is just go online, just study a little bit about it, find Special Olympics in your community, be a volunteer. Don't turn a blind eye to somebody with an intellectual disability. We all have a place, a purpose. We all have something to add to each other's lives. And I think everybody out there, even if they don't have a family member with ID or a friend, they would be surprised at how this community could change your life. And I think that's really been something I've been excited to be behind, which is, any corporation just getting behind Special Olympics and creating a more inclusive world. It's not just something to say, it's actually something to do. And I think people would be surprised at how much their lives can change by having people with intellectual disabilities working with them. And, being a volunteer is a really good place to start. That's what I'm going to do in Germany.
Elisabeth Rohm is with us here at Q104.3. It's 8:12, and we will be right back. Elizabeth Rohm is here with us at Q104.3.
I'm so excited.
And we interrupt your visit for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees,
That
which were
sounds
just
worth it.
announced, because somebody that Shelley has been pushing for like a gazillion
it?
years is on the list.
Cyndi Lauper.
Yay!
Finally!
Super!
Cindy, you rock. And also, how was he not there? Willie Nelson? He's about to turn 90. Kate Bush, Warren Zevon, A Tribe Called Quest, Missy Elliott, the late George Michael, Rage Against the Machine, Sheryl Crow, Iron Maiden, Joy Division, and New Order, Soundgarden, The Spinners, and the White Stripes.
Well, that's a big
Okay.
deal.
This is a fantastic
yeah,
list.
that's a great list. I'm about to see Cheryl tonight perform.
Well,
I'm
you
going
gonna
to say
Yeah,
congratulations.
you got to
Oh
say
my God.
congratulations. You got to say congratulations.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
And you could start voting now at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame website. You know that the fan vote kind of sort of counts, except when you're Pat Benatar and it didn't.
Yeah.
Till she finally got
Well,
it.
she finally got in
She
this
finally
past year.
got
She and her husband Neil Giraldo.
It's like the Oscars. I mean, it's,
Oh yeah, and there's
nonsensical
there's always
sometimes.
controversy about that.
yes.
Apparently, someone who put in an extraordinary performance in a movie that nobody saw is nominated.
Right.
And it's creating some sort of controversy, but that's
There's a lot of
understand.
controversy this year around it, for sure, I heard.
that's
Yeah,
the way
but
things
I
work.
don't understand that, the controversy.
That's the way it has to do with how the campaigning has been going on. It's complicated. The for your consideration thing, there's rules and regulations around how
I think a
conduct
few
those
people
things.
are like Top Gun
Yeah.
got nominated. There's some other films out there that were extraordinary.
Yep.
Anyway,
Well, anyway, special
not our problem.
special
We won't solve it
No.
this morning.
No, but there are things in this world
That we can solve.
that you can make better just by in a sports using a sports expression, by stepping up to the plate.
That's right.
And you have certainly done that for Special Olympics. Now, it's going to be on ESPN here in the United States.
Right.
And there are 7,000 athletes, 190 countries, 26 Summer Olympic-style sports.
yeah.
When you
It's
were
their largest event of the year. It's the biggest event that they actually have. And it unites, like you said, 190 countries, 7,000 athletes, volunteers. I mean, it's pretty major.
What sports did you like when you were like a school kid?
I really wasn't that athletic. I was definitely I could see myself going towards the arts, but I loved soccer and horseback riding, but they don't have an equestrian division at Special Olympics. But they do have soccer.
Okay. Well, that's the most popular sport in the world.
It is. Football.
Yeah, I know.
Everywhere
It is.
else
Well,
but
I
here.
hope people will tune into ESPN and support, and more importantly, just continue supporting the inclusion revolution and think about what that means and do a little digging within. Look, no matter what you're passionate about, think globally, act locally. Figure that out where you live.
And people can join you
Yes,
as a volunteer
that's right.
by visiting specialolympics.org.
Absolutely.
And they can get all the information right there.
I'll be there with bells on.
And you can follow Special Olympics on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn at Special Olympics.
Thank
It's
you.
really important and wonderful work that you're doing.
Thank
I
you.
know that when you, probably you don't, but when you look in the mirror, you should say, I'm proud of you.
Hi. I'm turning 50.
No, you should say, I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you. Well,
I'm proud of you. I mean, you should be proud of yourself, is what I'm saying, when
Thank
you look in the mirror.
Well, I'm proud of you guys for bringing me on to talk about it and celebrate their good work.
Well, there are a lot of people who are in a position to really draw attention to things in this world that are very important, and they don't take the opportunity to do it, and you do, and that is something to be very, very proud of.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Okay, specialolympics.org.
Yes.
Elizabeth,
Thank
Rohm.
you.
I think
Thank
we
you,
should
Elizabeth.
have her on once a month because since she's been here, breaking news has come in left and right.
Tom Brady has announced his retirement on social
Really?
media.
Tom Brady just announced he's retired. The Rock and Roll nominations are in, and we just got a show announcement.
And Bryan Adams returns to the road with the So Happy It Hurts 2023 tour, Madison Square Garden, Friday, June 9th, featuring special guest Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. And let's see, when do tickets go on sale? February 3rd. Wow, that's Friday.
That is.
Yeah.
So you got every
At
time you
noon.
come now, you're breaking news.
Well, that's good.
Ticketmaster.com.
I'll bring all that good energy.
Okay.
Wow.
It's 8:24 here at Q104.3.
New York's classic rock. Q1043.